Hey guys, how's it going? Just coming at you with another video, and yeah, I know it's been a minute since I last talked. If you've seen my last video, that was the last time, after about. So anyway, like I said, it's been a while. Where the hell have I been? Last once, almost the entire summer, pretty much. Oh, I've had computer problems, and by that I mean like the one I've been using since the last almost 3 years, something like that, which was an HP Elite book to be exact. It crapped out on me, and it was pretty much too far gone. So I have another one, which is a Gateway. I think it's an HP one ish. I have to look later, but right now I'm just filming this video. So far, that's has yet to be is yet to be usable in any sense. So I'm still interested in using it if ever at all possible. But as of now, I've got this one. It's also an HP computer, but I don't know. So just a little bit bigger than the one I used to use, but if I could do a comparison of some sort, I don't know. But anyway, enough about all that technical babble. The bottom line, my old computer crapped out on me. Got me a new one. I bought it within the last month or so. It it did cost a little bit of change, but here it is. But it was a while for it took a while for it to be set up. So but yeah, I am. But yeah, like I said, so how have I been doing since the last video I filmed? I've been hanging in there. It's been summertime here in the States. We're in the middle of an election season. Um, Coronavirus is still a thing, sadly, and we're still in pretty bad shape as it is. So um, so basically, it's just some days are more eventful than others. Sometimes I just here at home, other times I go out. When I go out, I mean, when lockdown first started going down, you could only go to essential places. Of course, we've opened up slowly. We're not doing anything like Florida and Georgia. We're just across the board, unilateral, boom, we're open. And you wonder why states like those are in pretty bad shape because you know, fuck logic, right? But like I guess we've been doing eh, slowly because remembering where I live, I'm in Maryland. We are a blue state, which is being headed currently by Republican governors. And I think some of my fellow residents and natives have been kind of gaga over him. His name is Larry Hogan, by the way. Probably because from what it seems, at least from what it seems according to the people, anyway, has this steady hand of leadership. Like he's not being a complete guns cap compared to say like as mentioned Florida and Georgia, but I don't know. But over time, let's put it this way: in the past, I've said that kind of it was kind of a bitch that we couldn't always go out places simply for pleasure, but as of now, we can. But then again, it kind of depends on how you would define pleasure. Go out and go shopping. For me, I guess the kind of thing doing things like go to places like Goodwill, for example. Um, Granted, you still have to wear your mask, but so well, but you do what you have to, I guess. But how do I feel about that? Oh, let's put it this way: it'll be a pretty kick-ass day where when we don't have to. Not that I'm embarrassed by it, just it'll just be pretty cool when it's not necessary. But until then, you just do what you're told, I guess. Um, and especially since with me, I'm not an anti-masker, and I'm not one of those, like I don't have this sense of like I don't have this healthy dose of contrarianism for the sake of being a contrarianism because reasons. Um, but it is what it is. So, um, But yeah, as long as I do all that, I was, I guess, like I said, some days more eventful than others. You know, um, um, I haven't. There's all that, and haven't anything cool lately. Well, I did go on vacation within the last month. I went to Gettysburg. I've been there many times. Um, the hotel we stayed at is one that we've been to many times. It's called Quality Inn. So like, so being from the Mid Atlantic, part of the United States, what states have I been to? Um, I've been up as far north as New York, as far down south as Florida. I don't remember New York all that well because I was like 4 or 5 when I was up there. So, and apparently I think I've been to West Virginia too. But again, I don't remember that state either. But apparently I've been there. I don't think I've ever been to New Jersey though. Oh, it's not that I remember. Well, so all the states between up there and down there, like Florida and New York and all that. The states I've been to the most are Pennsylvania and Washington D.C. I know it's technically not a state, but I'm sure you get my point. Because in both places I've been there more than twice, multiple times over the years. So in fact, I've speaking of Pennsylvania, here's a little fun fact about myself. My family's from Pittsburgh, so yeah. So, but I've yet to be visit there. More specifically, on my dad's side, through my grandfather. God rest his soul. But yeah, so yeah, so I went on vacation to Gettysburg. Been there many times. Um, so there's that. Um, um, what else is there? I guess I've done my fair share of online shopping because I guess that's kind of the in thing. I guess um, especially since in the middle of the pandemic, some people that might not always be able to shop. But then again, I guess I may be a bit of a hypocrite because politically, I always I'd like to consider myself pro worker, but yet I do online shopping like eBay, Amazon, stuff like that. So I don't know. I know I'm no angel. So, but what did I pick up? I'm just a brief show and tell. It's not really anything doing worth doing an entire video over. Just quick here it is. Um, a Power Ranger right here. He's a Quantum Ranger from Time Force. This the sixth Ranger of the team. You know, even though he's been character wise, he's a bit more of a lone wolf of it, and so and I guess he's red. Maybe not like the main red, but he's at least red color. So make of that what you will. What else did I get? It was in, speaking of figurines, here I got VR Troopers right here, which is one of the sister shows from the '90s. Sister shows from Power, like the show, Beetleborgs. Yeah. Let's see here. Uh, what I'm about to show off next is something I gotten within the last 34 months. Seasons 1 through 3 of Star Wars Rebels. I and those are slipcovers by the way. And I got season 4 from sorry for the glare here. I got season 4 along with season 1 of Resistance from Best Buy. So I hope they come out with season 2 if they ever do that. But then again, I'm not sure if they would, given that there's Disney Plus. And that goes for Mandalorian as well. Um, but yeah. Um, so um, and speaking of which, I guess speaking of TV shows, what I've been watching, I've been able to see Mando and a good show, especially since you hear all the hype about it, especially when it comes to Baby Yoda. So I also got through season 1 of Star Trek Picard, and I've gotten through some of Discovery. Star Trek I've been watching those shows with my dad, so I don't have Disney Plus right now, but we got this some device that you're able to like download um TV shows and movies and all that without having to subscribe to anything. That's how I was able to watch Mandalorian and yeah, Star Trek Picard, and for what I've seen of Discovery thus far. Um, and it's especially as mentioned, I don't. Since I guess I'll be able to do all that because even though I have the fact that right now I don't have Disney Plus or CBS All Access. So, yeah. Um. And so um. I guess what do I feel? How do I feel about Picard and Discovery? I'm not sure. I mean, I mean, if you know me, as as you know me, I'm a Star Wars fan and I'm a Star Trek fan too. I've just been watching it because and my dad's been like, "Hey, let's watch it," but I don't know. Either I'd have to watch it again on my own time, or I don't know. So I know that may not be sound very all that descriptive, but I don't know. And what do you think of those shows? If you've seen any of them, and tell me what you think. So, but yeah, so there's all that, And I guess another thing too, my dad was in the hospital, but he's better now, luckily. One of his toes was giving him trouble, so but just there's that. So I don't know if I should be saying that, but I don't know. So, but so I guess I got to spend a couple nights over at my mom's house in the meantime, but uh, everything's back to normal, or as normal it's gonna be. But um, and as mentioned, we're in the middle of an election season. It's Trump against Joe Biden. Of course, all the guys that tried to run against Trump, he had no chance of even coming within like a pubic. They didn't have a pubic hair's chance of coming this close to Trump because he's pretty much a giant at this point. Yeah, and so and I think he's just been as invincible as he has been because he's been made that way. I mean, he defeated Russiagate, he defeated impeachment, so um why this guy? Why was Trump? Why was he? And the thing is, just I guess I know he did something right by, especially when it comes to running that populist campaign that he ran and all that. So I guess when it comes to Democratic side, I know that they needed a nominee too, but fucking Biden. I've got a couple videos coming down the pipeline where I'm thinking about right now. After I'm done with this one, at some point I'd like to do a couple of other ones. One of them is just may, um maybe talking about Joe Biden and his potential presidency or something like that. Maybe in terms of voting and all that, maybe, or just something like that. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it right now. I guess I've got a thing or two to say. I may just be rambling on. Should I do that video, or at least? But I mean, I get voting for him maybe for the areas that where he might be objectively better than Trump, especially if you live in a swing state. But I mean, the man is basically Republican light next. Um, and Trump is running as always a socialist, commie, Marxist, blah blah. I think Mike Figueredo of the Humanist Report uh, may have been on maybe on something when he said that they are going to be using those labels with the expectation that Bernie was the nominee, but then instead it wound up being Joe Biden. Is like we we bought that shirt, we might as well wear it. You know what I mean? So I don't know, man. I'd be lying if I said I didn't have considered voting for him. I have, but When I mean, I did not vote for Hillary Clinton back in 2016. I have no regrets about it. You might go, oh, you should have voted for her, and it's your fault, blah, 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 blah. Well, I live in a safe state. So, and my vote wouldn't have mattered. I voted for Gary Johnson. Um, um, but of course, you hear some of these people saying, I vote this way to vote for Trump, like third party. Um, I always sit this one out. A vote for anything but Joe Biden is a vote for Trump. Like, and they're playing this voter shaming shit. Um, and just I don't know. I mean, ugh. It's basically 2016 part two, and Joe Biden would have to have like a godsend of some sort uh, if he came out on top. And especially with um Trump, the strategy that he's been using. Like especially since he's drunk on Fox News, drunk on One American News Network. Compared to his 2016 strategy, you can't see it straight. So I don't know. Um, the video I'm thinking about doing next when it comes to talking about, I get talking about shit like that. I may be repeating myself then, so I apologize if I sound redundant then. But I don't know. So those are some of my thoughts on that. I mean, it's a little bum. It's a bit of a bugger, especially since during the primaries I was a Bernie supporter, and for those who think you got to vote blue no matter who and all that, if it were Bernie who was on me, you'd be like, "Yeah, I'm right to be voting for him." I would not even think twice if he had been the nominee. You know, I wouldn't even questioning who I'm voting for. I have considered voting for Biden. I've also considered voting for Howie Hawkins of the Green Party. I mean, even though from what I've heard, when it comes to getting that nomination, apparently more around the campfire said they did some like DNC level fuckery in terms of getting that nod. Kind of like when I say DNC fuckery, kind of like similar to that of how Hillary Clinton got her nomination back in 2016. She basically stole the nomination from Bernie. So no, I don't know. I guess I would vote for uh, Howie Hawkins at least, because politically he's mostly in lockstep with what I personally believe compared to that of Joe Biden. Like Medicare for all, tuition-free college, ending the wars, Green New Deal, stuff like that. But here in Maryland, we do paper ballots. Though at least the last couple of times I voted. Um, um, I've moved on that. So I don't know. But yeah. And of course, like it's a good question how I'll be able to vote because whether it be mail-in ballots um or going up to my closest um, polling booth. Like when it comes to doing in-person voting, we'll have to see what happens. So basically, since you hear about Trump claiming, uh, that like mail-in ballots are fraud, blah 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 blah. It's all self-serving. I mean, this is Donald Trump we're talking about. He'd do anything as power to get that second. So, and I don't think he'd go as peacefully if he loses. So I don't know. So and this is in light of all that the pandemic, which we bundled to the nth degree, and it's terrible. So, but yeah, so like I don't know. And I guess speaking of pandemic and all that, what have I ever thought about going to conventions lately? I mean, all these conventions that were going to happen, they've either been delayed until for another time or they've been canceled outright. It would like for example, awesome con in DC that I've been to before. It was originally going to be in December, but then it just got canceled outright. I was willing to be like, all right, I'll take the delay rather than cancellation, but at this point, So I mean, at this point, some of the conventions that I know of here, here in my state was one in Frederick called Star Quest that's been delayed until next year. It's not happening this year. From what I heard, Ocean City uh, Comic Con, which in Ocean City, Maryland, it was going to happen in December, but that got canceled. It's going to happen that next year. At this point, the only one that I know of that's still going on is Baltimore Comic Con, and that's assuming it doesn't get canceled. But then again, for all the conventions that are still happening in some form or fashion, you have to wonder that even if they do take the necessary precautions, would it be safe to do so, or would it be smart to do so? Uh, I don't know. That's a good question. What do you think? So, so I don't know, man. I guess it's with all that said, it's really all I've got to say on things. I'm just rambling about stuff that's on my mind and what's going on with myself. So, like I said before, I've got one or two videos that have come down the pipeline. Always, I'm thinking of. One of them is a toy review, and I've gotten done a couple of toy reviews before, but the toy I'm talking about is still in its boxing right now, so I won't be. I don't think I'll be able to tear up and the boxing. I won't. Fortunately, I won't be able to shred it up or destroy. I can just remove it because I'm from its boxing without destroying. Yeah, so I've never done it. A couple times I've done a toy review. I've never done an actual unboxing. So you could. I want it to be a surprise. So just kind of keep you on your toes a little bit. So got that. I'm thinking about doing something like that, which is why I've been waiting to remove it from its packaging so I can do it for my video. And another thing too, I'm just talking about maybe the 2020 election a little bit, uh, in more detail, or at least how I feel about things and some of what I've observed for always around social media, like kind of like Twitter, for example, and just all that. So there's a couple that I've got in my mind that's might be down the pipeline. So look forward to that. So I guess with all that said, thanks for tuning in. Sorry, it's been a while since I did a video, but here you go. I guess with all that said, rate, comment, subscribe. Thank you for watching, and stay sexy. Stay sexy, everybody. Bye, guys.